Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, I'm your humble host, Jazz Borganzo, and this is What's Next. As many of the topics that are out there, the news is just coming fast and furious from everything from you're still attacking Tom Brady because he's white, to now, of course, the situation with the Dallas Mavericks owner, Mark Cuban, and the national anthem. We're gonna cover that too in a later video. Um, to the Trump derangement impeachment hearing, ugh, or trial, or whatever you want to call it, this week. Absolute nonsensical garbage. But we're going to cover a topic today that's very important. Should be looked at very deeply, and it's very concerning. Um, Tucker Carlson covered on his show 2 nights ago in regards to the vaccine, the COVID vaccine, and its lack of um, awareness regarding it, its concern regarding the vaccines, its side effects regarding the vaccines. Um, Facebook has done its job in regarding to squashing any concerns. Um, if you talk ill will against a vaccine, you're not going to find it on Facebook. But if you think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, you will find it there. You'll find the WHO spouting off about how great it is. China owned. The CDC, who's become political at this point, giving it tons of praise, and of course, Dr. Fauci. Um, but with that being said, let's take a look at Tucker and his comments regarding it, and we're going to go from there.
Instead, we got fluff and propaganda. The media rollout for the vaccine came off like a Diet Pepsi commercial at the Super Bowl. Tons of celebrity endorsements, not a lot of science. It was totally disingenuous, and naturally, it had the opposite of the intended effect. Most Americans already supported vaccines. They didn't need to be browbeaten in order to be convinced. They were grateful their kids no longer get tetanus and polio and chickenpox. They weren't anti-vaxxers. And yet, from the very first day, the way the authorities handled the COVID vaccine did not inspire confidence. If the vaccine was so great, why were all these people lying about it?
Exactly.
And they were lying. Clearly, they were lying. You know that for certain, because from the moment the COVID vaccine arrived, the most powerful people in America worked to make certain that no one could criticize it. Here's Bill Gates' wife on CNN back in December.
Do the social media companies, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, on and on, have a responsibility to do more right now, Melinda, in terms of getting this misinformation, this disinformation off their platforms?
They absolutely have a responsibility. The internet and the rise of social media has happened so quickly that really the regulations and the good policy making hasn't stayed out in front of it. And quite frankly, it needs to catch up.
Oh, quite frankly, she says, we need to censor people's views on the COVID vaccine.
Didn't know Melinda Gates was a doctor.
Now remember, Melinda Gates is not a scientist. She did not develop this vaccine. She has no background in epidemiology or any relevant discipline. She worked in the marketing department at Microsoft. But she's the wife of a billionaire. That's why she's on television. It's why she's allowed to control what you're allowed to say about the drug she is demanding you inject in your body.
Bingo.
Is this really science? Not even close. It's oligarchy. And all the billionaires are participating in it. The tech companies announced early they would not allow anyone to criticize this vaccine, and anyone who did would be kicked off their platforms right away. And then corporate media took it upon themselves to enforce this rule. Just yesterday, CNN ran a story with this headline, quote, Facebook vowed to crack down on COVID-19 vaccine misinformation, but misleading posts remain easy to find. That's not a news story. That's an open call for censorship, and it worked. CNN identified a group on Facebook called COVID-19 Vaccine Injury Stories, and the group was exactly what it sounds like, people talking about their experiences with the vaccine. Last week, that group was in the top 20 groups on all of Facebook. Today, after the CNN piece came out, we searched for that group. We couldn't find it, even when we searched specifically for its name. Effectively,
Shocking.
COVID-19
Absolutely shocking that you can't find that information.
no longer exists.
Wow.
CNN shut them down, erased them. Instead, search for the word vaccine on Facebook and you will find a lot of material, exclusively material, that matches precisely the storyline approved by Melinda Gates and her fellow non-scientist billionaires. And the line is clear. You've heard it a million times. The COVID vaccine is morally good, period. Don't dare say anything else. So if your neighbor drops dead after getting the shot, keep it to yourself. Facts like that are not allowed on Facebook, nor on Twitter. They've got the same policy. Quote, I posted that there were multiple reports of adverse reactions to the vaccine, wrote one Twitter user, and that the vaccines were still not fully trialed on pregnant women and kids. Twitter banned me until I deleted it for false information. Is it false information? That's irrelevant. According to another user, quote, Twitter suspended me for saying that vaccines have known side effects, end quote, which of course they do. Physicians who develop vaccines concede that, but at the moment, you were not allowed to say it. Facebook has long...
This, I'm not surprised by this at all. I mean, I'm really not surprised by what goes on in Facebook anymore. I'm not surprised about it. But then again, Tucker is dead on right. The fact of the matter is that if you are concerned, if you have any concerns, if you have those who have taken the vaccine and have shown any kind of side effects from the most minor, a sore spot, which is typical, just like if you get any kind of vaccine shot from the flu shot, which is brought out every you're getting emails and text messages around September, October. Hey, make sure you take your flu shot. Make sure you take your flu shot. Some people have never taken it. Other people take it every year as a regimen. Me, I'm the type of person who basically said, I took mine last year, and prior to that, it was 3 years prior to that I took it. But when it comes to this, when it comes to those who have posted on Facebook, who have posted on Twitter, who have posted on Instagram regarding, hey, this is what's going on with the neighbor down the street, a family member who took the vaccine shot and had this side effects A, B, and C, which are very concerning to me. I'm letting you know. Facebook washes it away like, oh, no, don't talk ill will about the vaccine or you'll be shamed. More so, you'll be canceled. That's absolutely pathetic. That's absolutely pathetic. That's if, to me, I put it as an equivalent, but not as high as an equivalent as saying, you know what, well, we found out that a family member has heart disease. We're not going to tell you. Don't post it. Don't do anything like that because we will completely deny that your family member has heart disease. Even though we told you in private, they have it. You are not allowed to say it out in public because, of course, it may show ill will, being that it's not ill will, being that it's not doctor-patient privacy. It's not, If I broke my leg, but I feel fine, but it turns out I got I got a hairline fracture, and I'm telling people, you know what? Yeah, doctor told me I got a hairline fracture. I got to put a cast on it and whatever. Doctor's like, I never said anything. I said you had a leg injury, even though, shh, you got a broken leg. I'm just saying. It's the stupidity. It's total ignorance, and it's total, what it comes down to is total intention. It's total intention to say, hey, guess what? This actually goes on. You have people in this country who have taken the booster shot and the vaccine and have had side effects. Some minor, others major, like, I don't know, death. Just saying. But no one wants to take accountability for it, especially those who are putting out these vaccines, because it may make them. This cannot continue to go on. You have those who have concerns, and they should have their right to, have their concerns voiced. They should be able to voice their concerns, to say, hey, I see Joe down the street said, hey, so-and-so had vaccines. Should I be concerned about it? Will that happen to me? It may not. It may just be as simple as a sore spot where you took the shot. Or it could be something else. You don't know, because every person reacts differently to the vaccine shot. Now, me personally, while I take the vaccine, I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50. My wife says she will. But that's where we go from this. But let me end that here. Leave your comments below and what you think. Like it, share it, hit that subscription button, and make sure you hit that little notification bell to make sure you don't miss a thing. I'm Jazz Broganzo. This is What's Next, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.